Touch not my anointed. The phrase touch not my anointed is mentioned several times in the Bible, primarily in the Old Testament. The phrase is usually used in reference to God's chosen leaders or prophets, whom He has anointed for a specific purpose. The meaning of the phrase is that no one should harm or attack these individuals, as they have been chosen and blessed by God. The first instance of the phrase is found in 1 Chronicles 16:22, where it says, "Do not touch my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm." This verse is often used to remind people that God has chosen certain individuals to lead and speak on His behalf, and that they should be respected and protected. Another well-known instance of the phrase is found in Psalm 105:15, which says, "Do not touch my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm." This verse is often interpreted as a warning to those who would harm God's chosen leaders, as they will ultimately have to answer to God for their actions. In its proper context, touch not my anointed is a warning to those who would harm God's chosen leaders or prophets. The phrase is primarily used to remind people that God has set apart certain individuals for a specific purpose, and that they should be respected and protected. In the Old Testament, God anointed kings and prophets to lead His people, and these individuals were often subjected to attacks and persecution from those who opposed them. The phrase touch not my anointed was a warning to these people that God was watching over His chosen ones, and that those who sought to harm them would face divine retribution. In the Old Testament, there are examples of people who opposed God's anointed leaders and suffered the consequences. For example, King Saul was punished for disobeying God's instructions and trying to kill David, who had been anointed by Samuel as the next king of Israel. Similarly, in the book of Numbers, Miriam and Aaron were punished for speaking out against Moses, whom God had anointed to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. However, it's important to note that this phrase should not be used to shield religious leaders from criticism or to justify abusive behavior. Instead, it should be understood as a reminder that those who have been anointed by God should be respected and supported in their work, and that any disagreements or criticism should be approached with humility and grace. Overall, the phrase touch not my anointed is a reminder that those whom God has anointed for a specific purpose should be respected and protected, as they are doing God's work and speaking His truth.